This is a story about a man named Jed. Lived in the mountains, barely kept his family fed. One day he was shooting at some food. Up from the ground came a bubbling crude. Thought I'd take the scenic route today, even though there ain't much of a scenic route here. Something that I miss about the old bikes. Back in the day, you didn't have to push these turn signal lights in to get them to shut off. You just push them back and they were off. Nowadays, if you don't push the button back in after you're done using it, it stays on the whole time, like a car. And I wasn't used to that. I had to get used to that. And these floorboards on this big ass bike, I never had no bikes with the floorboards on them either. I don't know what kind of gear changing bar they call this down at the bottom, but you can push it forwards and backwards to do the gears in and out. None of my old bikes ever had that either. This bike was a whole new change for me. And the loudness of it, it's way louder than any bike I ever rode either. I had the choice of getting me a Honda Shadow with a 750 engine on it, for this 1300 cc's, I decided to try me out a big ass engine for once. See what it's like, what all these dudes are loving with them damn these big ass engines. Gotta tell you, you know, people hear you coming from a lot farther away than with those smaller engines. Can you hear that? Can you hear me coming? 'Cause I'm a-coming. Much more power. You don't have to worry about the engine slipping out on these motherfuckers. They got some power. That's a problem too, though. Newbies riding motorcycles should not be riding these things with all the power that these things have. It really took me a while to get used to it, and I've been riding for years and years, since I was like 16 years old. At least the big bikes. I rode me a little dirt bike when I was a little bit younger than that. I really don't like driving in the city because of all these cars, but this is where I live at. If I want to ride out in the country, I gotta take me about an hour before I get out of town. At least away from all the big bunch of cars. I couldn't imagine what it's like to drive in New York or Chicago. Even though I've been through places like that, I just wouldn't want to be riding my motorcycle all the time in them. Gotta watch out for these son of bitches, because they ain't watching out for you. I noticed about this bike, it's got a clanking sound when you change the gears. My brother-in-law, he said he thinks it's probably drive shaft, you know, because every chain drive ridden one I've had, they change gears real smooth. So it probably is the drive shaft that kicks it into gear like it does. I don't know if the sound of this engine vibrates out the sound of my voice or not. We'll find out once I upload the video. That's something about these cameras too. You can't, the GoPro that I got, you can't check the video till you get home. So you don't know whether you've got a messed up video. It took me a whole bunch of tries using the microphone riding the bikes before I figured out what to do so I could hear myself. Well, there we go, not pushing the button for the damn turn signal. I think I accidentally pushed the button and turned them on every once in a while too. Turn signal. Damn it, that fucking thing. Sometimes it just don't shut off either. I don't know how many times I pushed that fucking thing just a minute ago. I think it's a danger, to tell you the truth, the way that damn turn signal thing is. And where on this bike, where my turn signal light's blinking, I gotta look pretty much straight down to see the thing. if it's on and somebody thinks you're turning, they'll turn right in front of you thinking you're turning. You're in deep shit on a motorcycle, buddy. Okay. So, if I was to bet, I bet my brother-in-law was hanging out at Dooley's, so I'll head that way. He ain't on his bike. Probably too cold for him. He's a little bit busy moving right now to a different house. So he probably ain't got much time to ride anyways. Oh, there he goes right there. I'll just turn around. There we are.